Stem cell therapy is a scam, okay? It is. But you probably heard a lot of stories of it working, and then you probably heard a lot of stories of it not working. Mel Gibson was talking on Rogan's show, sharing how it helped his dad. So that wouldn't make me very helpful in that case if I'm saying that it's a scam and he's saying it worked. And so now who's telling the truth? I actually believe him and that it did work. And so therefore it was helpful for him. So then why am I saying it's a scam? Because what if there was a better way, a cheaper way, a longer lasting way, so that one that wouldn't cause a relapse after those stem cells have kind of circulated through the body and then eventually died, or that they went into the body and then they never actually really did what they were supposed to do. Let's say you got them and they were already dead and they got injected into the body. Well, they potentially would still work because they would trigger exosomes. But because of the $15,000 price point, that's where I'm going after this, from $60,000 on the higher end to maybe $5,000 on the lower end. You're paying a lot of money here, and I spent $30,000 on my dad's knees, and there's a lot of people and with stem cells on multiple failed attempts, and I'll show you the celebrities that are kind of pushing. I don't want to say pushing, but advocating for it, because it's a regenerative therapy. It definitely fits the box for regenerative therapy. But then now if we look at stem cells, stem cells working or being advocated by politicians, politicians and celebrities recently. So let's have a look at who's talking about this, right? So here's some examples. So here you've got RFK Jr. and Donald Trump. By the way, just so you know, I'm saying that it can be effective. Is that Ozzy Osbourne there? Yep. It's out of reach for most people. People that get it often don't realize that if you don't do red light therapy at the same time, your likelihood of that succeeding is so low. And then the people that do get success, then those become big cover stories. So then people get behind it. They want to put money into it. People typically don't want to spend that. But then you look at the people here, for example, celebrities, like people that have high net worths, then it makes sense. And but then, so you'll see Chris Hemsworth here is talking about red light therapy to manage his physical health and his longevity. Mel Gibson is talking about, he's talked specifically about it helping with his father, and it was healing torn labrums and shoulder arthritis. But it's interesting. And then Rogan has had positive experiences with stem cells, and then Tony Robbins, right? So, notable people. And a lot of these clinics still, to me, are taking advantage of people, and that's the bigger issue that's at play here. And people aren't being educated on what it is that's driving more stem cells in the body, and what it is that helps to mature them, to create them and mature them. And because of that, if you did an illustration with a farm, and then you threw, if I had a farm that was failing, and then somebody came to assist me with my farm, and then they threw new seeds on the ground, and they said, there you go. And then I'd say, well, thank you, but I kind of need you to actually do something more than that, because just throwing more seeds isn't going to fix the problem. It needs the right fertilizer, the right sunlight, the right water, and so those combination of factors, that's why I'm saying that the stem cell industry is a scam, because they're not incentivized to tell you that that's what's the proven methods to generate stem cells. And you could get, for example, you pay $15,000 for something that is a one-time to hope to get stem cells in your body. And then if you look up, PEMF and stem cells, and you'll find here that PEMF for $1,000, you could have something that's stimulating the proliferation, which is the creation of stem cells, and then increasing their migration to injured areas, accelerating their differentiation into specific tissues. Okay, so it's using low frequency electromagnetic waves to influence the biophysical and biochemical environment of the body. Enhanced proliferation, PEMF stimulates stem cells such as mesenchymal stem cells and adipose-derived stem cells to multiply faster, increase migration. It helps the body mobilize endogenous stem cells and direct them to the exact site of tissue damage or inflammation. Targeted differentiation, PEMF can guide stem cells to differentiate into specific cell types for repair, such as bone, cartilage, muscle, and neural tissues. And so these are examples. And then this paracrine or paracrine enhancement, which is PEMF, potentiates the ability of mesenchymal stem cells to release biologically active factors, which would be exosomes, that orchestrate overall tissue regeneration. And so I'll just fact check myself there. But so it's really quite powerful and eye-opening, and I think that people should be really excited about what that means, because you could then be just on that conveyor belt, which is out of your range, and then you're just on a wing and a prayer, right? Can I possibly, hopefully, please God, help me, let this work, right? And I still felt that way. My dad felt mortified to tell me of the 4 injections that we got, that every time it failed, and he didn't want to tell me. And then I was like, how's it going? He was like, oh, Jono, I'm sorry, there's been no improvement. So that was a shock and so sad to me, right? But then it was fascinating, red light therapy. Red light therapy was another story. Red light therapy is proven stimulates stem cells by using wavelengths of 600 to 11 or 1100 typically, but 1000 nanometers is fine, to interact with cell mitochondria. Accelerates ATP, which helps activate, migrate, and rejuvenate stem cells, promoting faster tissue repair. And so it's, when exposed to specific red and near-infrared wavelengths, photons are absorbed by mitochondrial enzyme called cytochrome C oxidase. So this is the big hitter, guys. And so through red light and PEMF, both of them independently and together are proven to be profound differentiators and proliferators of stem cells. And then it becomes free. It's a free ride if you already paid. Alanis Morissette, thank you. Great line. I've never forgot it. That's quite profound, because what happens then when people then have red light available to them, I've got a backdrop here of a red light. I've got a continual supply of stem cells, or a source that I could get to keep my body regenerating. And so I think about cases like with my 98-year-old grandma. Sorry, that was on my side. My 87-year-old abuela. So my 98-year-old grandma, she passed at 98. And I'll talk about it till the day I die. She's an amazing woman, and she got many more years because of natural medicine. And my abuela, my grandma, and so I know, my wife, my ability to be a support to my wife and keep the beautiful things in her life, like her ability to have her mother and her grandmother. I mean, that's just so precious, and many of us don't have that anymore. So, but you can have it for your children and their children, and we can have it for the future generation when we claim these things. So anyway, so my 87-year-old abuela on my wife's side is no longer needing to take thyroid medication after decades of having to take that for an underactive Hashimoto's thyroid issue that she had. She had chronic pain throughout her body. She had cognitive decline. She was falling over. She split her head multiple times, and then this last time, 16 stitches. So then what did I do? Send her home with a red light, and it changed her life. And she doesn't have pain. She moved back into the home that we helped build for her. She doesn't have to take a thyroid medication anymore. These are powerful things that happen. And is it stem cells that's doing that? Yeah. If it was in a week or two that she had a recovery, exosomes, yeah. but the inflammation reduction would be the immediate thing that is driving that in a short period of time. Over longer periods of time, because she's been on it now for like something like 6 months, then now you tap into the stem cell regeneration, which is like that 3 to 4 month mark. And, you know, it's going to have an effect earlier than that, but then you're going to start really seeing those benefits. So yes, this is life-changing for people, and I just think that people need to know the true facts here so they can get out of the scams and get into the real life, real world case scenarios that are truly life-changing. So I hope this has been a benefit to you. You know, don't fall for the scams. And if you have the money and you want to do that, make sure to do it in combination with red light and PEMF. And then better yet, try to then stimulate more stem cells within the body yourself so that they're actually from yourself. They're autologous, which is healing arising from your own cells and tissues versus being foreign, because the body can reject a foreign set of stem cells, which is why often the people that get results are anomalies, and most people you hear don't get results. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much.